Okay, we are back here. We are continuing our progress with setting up our account here in the Benefic marketing platform. We have gone through the business profile setup and the team member or my staff setup. The next thing we're going to go through here today is the calendar settings. So once again, we're back here in the settings of our account. We're going to scroll down here to calendars. So click calendars here. We're going to go ahead and set up a calendar. So you can see in this demo account that I have up in front of us here, there are uh, a couple of calendars that have already been created. I'm going to walk us through just the basic setup of a new calendar. These can be individual for particular team members, or they can be set up as booking calendars for a particular product or service, for rooms, for equipment. There's a lot of different ways that you can use this here today. So I want to give you the quick high level view of what this looks like. You can see here there's one for a team member named John Smith that is a personal calendar. What I'm going to show us today is how to set up a round robin calendar. So imagine that you've got a service or a type of meeting. Let's say you've got, three different sales team members. Each one of them is taking something like a discovery type of an initial call, and you want it to rotate between these three different team members. That's what I'm going to demonstrate to set up here today. So we're simply going to go in and click New Calendar. You've got a couple different options here. There's some decent descriptions on helping understand what each of these are. So personal booking, think of that very similar to a traditional Calendly type of a calendar, that sort of thing. Round robin's the one we're going to work on today. So this is distributing appointments among different team members in a rotating order. You can do class bookings, you can do collective bookings, and there's a couple different types you can click down here from event calendars and service bookings as well. So lots of different options. What we're going to start with is this round robin. So let's go ahead and click into this. And we will see that we are now setting this up. We're going to set a name for the calendar. So we can start with really anything when it comes to the calendar name. So this could be discovery call with the team. Right? You can name that whatever you need. From there, you're going to come in here and you're going to choose your team members. So we've got John Smith in here. It allows you to select multiple. So if you have 3 or 4 different team members, you can choose multiple different ones. And that's really helpful if you've got 3 or 4 sales team members that need to rotate, and why we're using a round robin one here today. We're going to go in and select a name or a custom URL. So this is going to be your URL here versus, and then this would be, discovery call with team as an example. And that will tell you if that's something that's already been taken or not. So this one's not. We are good to go. How long do you want this meeting to be set for? So this could be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, however you want to set the length of the meeting or the duration of the meeting. You would update that here. We'll leave it to 30 minutes for this example. What's going to be the availability? Do you want people to be able to book these Monday through Friday? Do you want Saturdays in there? For this example, let's just go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And we want it to be available from 8 to 5 p.m. From there, we've got advanced settings, but we're going to go ahead and just hit confirm to get this set up. Oh, look at that, saying the slug is already taken. So let's go with team demo. Just as an example. Hit confirm. And right like that, we already have the link that we can then use, or an embed code that we can add in there as well. And then you can preview the booking widget here. Let's go ahead and do that. Just to give you an example. So this is what that's going to look like. It's going to show the different availability, calendar things, just like you would most other calendar booking tools. Let's go ahead and close out of that. Let's go in and set up some additional settings here. So we're going to come back to this discovery call with team. You can see that's currently active. It's a round robin, 30 minutes, but there's more things we want to set up. So we're going to go into this edit calendar. Got the basics set up. There's more that we can do here. So the first one is going to be, let's add a description. So we want somebody to be able to book into this and know what this meeting is going to be about. So this is going to be initial get to know you meeting with the team. And it can be anything that you want to describe in there. You can set up different groups. So you could have a group for sales team. You could have a group for marketing team. You can have a group for operations, for services. You can set up different groups like that. Right now, we do not have any selection forms, so we'll go ahead and leave that blank. We already went through this. You can then choose the meeting title, and you can put some custom fields in here so that the context name is automatically filled in. meeting with our, right? And then you can change that to whatever you want that to be. We can choose distribution type, it can be optimized for availability or optimized for equal distribution. Essentially, what this means is if you've got John Smith here plus 3 other team members, it's got to rotate between all 4 of them. Do you want the calendar to optimize for availability? Let's say John has 8 hours available, but Sally only has 1 hour available. It's going to optimize for the availability that's with John in that particular case. Now, if you're going for optimizing for equal distribution, then it's going to try and rotate between all of the team members as equally as possible so that everybody has a chance to take some of these meetings. You can choose priority. So if I select John as high priority and everybody else is low priority, it'll default to him more frequently. And then you can set up meeting location. This could be you can integrate Zoom or Google Meet. You can do phone number, full address, or leave it as custom, or you can plug in. Could be a Zoom link, could be something else that you want to put in here, but you get to choose what that's going to be. Choose some different colors, play around with the look and the feel of that. We'll go ahead and hit save or next. Then we get into the availability. So we started with the initial kind of setup here, but now let's say we want different availability per day versus just having 8 to 5 on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I want 8 to 5 on Monday, but I want 8 to, let's say 3 o'clock on Tuesdays. Simply hit OK, and you can change those types of things here. You can scroll down and then set up the additional pieces if this is a recurring type of a meeting. Time slots. This is where you can choose what frequently do you want it to be at. So this would only show availability at the 30-minute increments. So 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30, etc. If we change this to 15-minute intervals, then you could have start times at 1 o'clock, 1:15, 1:30, 1:45, etc. Meeting duration we talked about before. Minimum scheduling notice. Do you want a minimum notice here? Like, I don't want a meeting that can just be booked 20 minutes from now. I need it to be at least a day ahead of time. As an example, how far out do you want the calendar to be able to show? So if you set, let's say 30 days, when you go to the calendar, regardless if there's additional availability, 45 days from now, it's only going to show availability through the next 30 days or whatever you choose to set in here. You can set a maximum or a minimum, a maximum bookings per day and then a maximum bookings per time slot per user. And then this would be buffer time. If you don't want your team members to get stuck with meeting after meeting after meeting with no buffer time, no break time, no time for overlap or different things like that. You can leave it at 0 if you don't want those additional buffer times in there. Otherwise, a pre-buffer and a post-buffer is going to look at anything that's on the calendar beforehand. If you got something ending at 1 o'clock and you've got a 15-minute buffer in here and you've got a slot interval of 15, then it's going to say the next available time slot is going to be 2:15. It's not going to allow them to choose a 1 o'clock slot because you've got something ending at 1 o'clock. So the next availability is going to be 1:15. I apologize for saying 2:15 there earlier. And then you can set some post buffer time as well. Again, we'll just go ahead and hit next here. It's going to move us on to the next piece. Forms and payment. It's going to default to the selected form. You can choose and build additional forms if you want to collect different information. Otherwise, it's always going to default to first name, last name, email, phone number, and then a note, so they can describe what it is that they're looking to meet with you with. You can have a consent checkbox for hey, I confirm this. And then you can either redirect them to a URL. So that could be a landing page or something else that you may want to redirect them to after they hit the submit form, or it can just be a default page and you can update this message here in terms of what they see. You can accept payments when you have payments set up. Currently, there's nothing in this demo account that I have set up for that, but you can accept payments in these calendar links. Go ahead and hit next. Notification options. You can set up some reminders from when things were booked and having an in-app notification to the team saying, hey, somebody just booked an appointment. You can also set up email and in-app notifications for cancellations, reschedules, reminders, follow-ups. So this reminder one's really helpful here. If we click on that just as an example, you can enable it, and then you can send reminders to the contact, to the actual user, and to any additional emails that are set up. Just to open this up to give you an example, It would be, when would you like the notification to trigger? Let's say we want it to be 60 minutes before the appointment, and I want it to be an email. So we're going to send, a specific email here. If there's a template, we can choose from one. Otherwise, we can just use the subject line and the email body that's set in here. Usually the default's gonna be pretty good. Hey, we've got an upcoming appointment on the start time and date, and it's gonna send this email that basically says, hey, contact name. This is a friendly reminder about our upcoming appointment. Here's the details. And by the way, here's to ensure if it did not get put on your calendar, here's another way to make sure that that's put on the calendar. Set the from email and address and things like that as well. And then you can even send a test email to see how that looks. When you're done with this piece, you simply hit save. I'm just going to hit close for now, and that will be turned on as you can see here. You can allow rescheduling and or cancellations, and you can have that link expire a certain number of minutes before the meeting. So let's say I don't want cancellations, reschedules, automatic within 30 minutes. I want people to be able to go in and use that link. You can set that in here as well. And then this is going to be what the notes are going to be in the invite itself. So the body of the invite, this is what's going to be written in there, and you can change any of this to suit your business and your needs. From there, we'll go ahead and hit next, and we'll get to the final page of setup. Once again, most of this you will not need to do anything, but if you want to change the cover image, you can do that here. If you want to change the colors, primary color, background color, that sort of thing, of the actual widget itself, the actual calendar things, you can take a look and see what that looks like as you make changes. And then what I really enjoy is with these round robin type calendars, I usually recommend selecting this here. Allow staff selection during the booking. So that's going to give a little piece on the right hand side of this calendar where it's going to default to just choosing from any. So that equal distribution, or how it's automatically selecting team members. But it also allows you to click that and see the drop down of team members that you can select a time with. And then somebody could actually choose the team member that they want to meet with, as an example. Once all of that is done, you'll go ahead and hit save. And that will close out the calendar piece here. And we've got the active calendar working. To use it, you can simply hit share calendar. You've got your link here to be able to use, and you've got the embed code if you want to embed it into something else. And that is the setup for calendars.